Guys, Cody here, and as you can see today, I got all my crankbaits out that don't have rubber bands on them, and I just want to teach you something that, might help you with some organization. Because I'm a co-angler and I don't use my own boat in tournaments, I have to put everything into one box and separate it just for my tackle box, because I don't have just a single box for square bills or jerk baits, stuff like that to organize it, because I can't bring all of that, so I have to condense it down. And one way to keep everything untangled is to just put a rubber band over your treble hooks. That way you can do whatever you want with it, and it's pretty much going to stay untangled, and it gives you a lot more space to keep your stuff organized. What I like to do is to take a small rubber band like so, and you just put the two treble hooks up against the body of the crankbait. This, for example, I'm using a Gary Yamamoto square bill. And you just wrap it around one time, and then you want to hold it with your thumb and just keep twisting it around until you run out of rubber band. And then you just put one of the loops, like you're tying your boat up to the dock, and that's it. And it just keeps it so your treble hooks don't get all tangled, and the hooks don't go in the eyelets and the split rings and all that good stuff, bad stuff. So just something I like to do to keep them organized, and you get a lot more space out of your tackle box. So right here, I'm keeping all my squid in that compartment right there, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far in that tiny little compartment. So it's just nice to keep everything organized, and you know where everything is. That way when you're on the water in a tournament or something, you know where everything is, and you don't have to fight getting everything untangled and you're losing fishing time. Where with this trick, you can just undo the rubber band, and then. Now when doing this, I prefer to use smaller rubber bands just because you have less to work with, whereas the bigger rubber bands, it's kind of hard because then it gets really bulky. But bigger rubber bands are usually better for bigger lures, just because there's more space in between the treble hooks that you have to mess with. Like, for example, one of these spooks, I'd probably use a bigger rubber band like this red one here, just because the treble hooks are farther away than something like on a square bill. Here is a perfect example. I just picked these up and they're all tangled. That treble hook on the Rapala went into my spy baits split ring, and then the treble hook's tangled right there, so that would take some time to get out. And more than one hook can go into different things, so then it could be a really bad tangle. That just a waste of time. Jerk bait is a little different because it has 3 treble hooks opposed to 2. So what I did is I just went into the first one, and I'm holding these 2 here with my thumb. And you just want to take it and wrap around all 3 of the hooks until you run out of room on the rubber band and keep it tight. That way it all stays held together. Just watch and get your fingers. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. I wasn't very good at first, but now I'm pretty good at it. And say you only have bigger rubber bands like this, or medium-sized rubber bands, you don't have any small ones, you can go to your local convenience store like Walmart or Walgreens and get hair ties. That's what my one friend did after I told him about this. But hair ties will work, anything really. You could even use those metal twist ties that come off like loaves of bread. Those will work too, anything like that. Just something that you can keep the hooks together with, that way they don't get tangled, and you can just store them very easily. Look how cool that Livingston lure is. This is a spook. It has a blue light in it, and it imitates a baitfish sound. Listen very carefully. As soon as it hits the water, it starts to do that, and it just sounds like a baitfish. It tracks fish in the light, like in the very, very early morning that shows up, or even right at night, right after sunset. Very good topwater bait. Finishing up with my last crankbait right now, and I can already tell that my crankbait box is looking a lot better in terms of organization and everything not being all tangled together. So that'll make it a lot easier for me when I go to tie on some lures for a tournament, or when I'm on the boat trying to change to a different crankbait or square bill, whatever, or going from a square bill to a deeper diving crankbait. So for example, in this box I got suspending lures or jerk baits. I got my top water poppers, spooks in here, and these I got the deeper diving crankbaits or lipless cranks, rip through glass, stuff like that. This one's actually pretty cool too. It's like a soft plastic crankbait. The body isn't hard, it's really soft. And then here's all my square bills. That's it. That's all I got for today. Hopefully you learned something.